9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Discussing everything about the afterlife and spirit world. Coming to you all the way from Ireland, it's Sandy Byrne.
Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of Life After Life with me, Sandy Byrne. So just before I start, I just want to say that at the time of releasing this episode, which is late June of 2023, I am preparing to take a short break from the podcast over the summer months, okay? Now, I'm not stopping the podcast at all, but over the summer months, I will be releasing shorter episodes where I try to answer some of the questions that I've had sent in to me. So just to keep them very short, I'm going to call them summer snippets, okay? So, and I might release maybe even more than one a week because I will have some recorded and scheduled to release. So wherever you're listening to the podcast, please subscribe. I produce the podcast, or I release the podcast through Podbean. I know you can subscribe there and you'll get a notification where, you know, whenever there's a new episode released. So I might release a question or on a Wednesday and then maybe another one on a Sunday or something, okay? So over the summer, there just will be small summer snippets and we will get back to normal long form podcasts at the end of the summer in September. So I just, you know, I want to spend more time with my family. You want to spend more time with your family. So I'll have a lot of these recorded and scheduled to release over the summer months. So if you're out for a walk or whatever, you can just listen in. Anyway, this would be our first summer snippet. And in this one, I want to answer a question, which is, do I see the person that I'm connecting with when I'm doing a mediumship reading? Okay, now this is a really great question because, you know, when mediumship is depicted on television or in films or whatever, it's generally shown as a deceased person appearing in front of someone and literally having a conversation with them. You know, and I keep having the word with my guides, guys, because that would make mediumship so much easier. And I really wish that it would happen like that. But unfortunately, it does not, okay? We'll call that artistic license for the TV industry. And it's a really good way for the filmmakers to get across to us that a spirit connection is being made. But, you know, for most of us, or at least for me, it doesn't work that way. And I say for me because, you know, we've already discussed this quite a number of times, that every medium works differently. And I've already gone over the different ways that we can connect with spirit, okay, way back in episode 2 of the podcast. So I won't go into that detail here again, but I will put a link in the description box attached here, because if you're not familiar with the different ways of connecting with spirit, then you should pause the podcast here and listen to that first and then come back and listen to the rest of this podcast. It will just make much more sense, okay? So as I've said before, the way that a spirit comes through depends on their personality and on the ability of the medium. So for example, a person who was shy when they were alive is unlikely to come through all chatty to a medium who can hear them, because shy people don't talk to strangers, right? They don't. And if they were shy in life, they're shy in death. So what about someone who was very self-conscious about their appearance when they were alive, and they didn't like photos or videos being taken of them? So would you then expect that person to come through and show themselves as they looked in life to a stranger? If they wouldn't have done it when they were alive, you can't expect them to do it when they're passed. So in that case, they definitely would not. So again, I reiterate that there are no hard and fast rules when it comes to spirit communication, as every soul has a different personality and ability, and every medium has a different personality and ability. So we have to allow for that. Now, as a clairvoyant medium, that's, for those of you who may not know, that's someone who sees spirit. I still won't always see a clear vision of what someone looks like. Okay, I can, but I don't need to. They will show me what they need to show me so that I can give you enough evidence to show that I am connecting with your loved one. Okay? So for example, in a reading one time a while ago, while I was talking to this lady at the beginning of the reading, and you know, that's just me, those of you who've had readings will know, I generally start off reading with a bit of chit chat, asking someone where they're from or what the weather's like or whatever, just to get them to relax and to allow the energy to flow. But as I was chatting to this lady, I immediately became aware of the feeling of a hat on my head. And in my mind, I could see a fedora style hat. So from here, we went on to get a lot more information from the gentleman who turned out to be her father. And at the end of the reading, she told me that, you know, before I even came online, that she had put a picture of her dad beside the computer screen so she could look at him and talk to him, but also so that, you know, in bringing the picture, she was bringing her dad's energy to the reading with her. But at the end, she showed me the picture, and in the picture, her dad was wearing the exact hat that I described at the very beginning. Okay? I didn't need to see him exactly. Once he mentioned his beloved hat, she knew it was him. But what I will say is that they will always show themselves or their energy in a way that you will recognize or understand. So for example, someone who may have lost a little baby, they will forever remember that child and think of that child as a baby, despite the fact that 40 years may have passed since they lost their child. So spirit won't show themselves to me or give me the feeling of an adult child, but they will make me aware of the energy of a baby, so that it's something that you will understand. Because if you still think of that child as a baby, despite the fact that they may have grown up in the spirit world, then they're going to show you them in the way that you expect to see them. Okay? You know, and, you know, going back to the appearance as well, part of it will come down to, you know, how they feel comfortable or maybe where they were happiest. So, you know, someone maybe, you know, God forbid, who passes with cancer, you know, their appearance would have altered so significantly in the days, weeks, months leading up to their passing. And, you know, they won't want to be remembered like that or seen like that. So if they are to show themselves, it will be, you know, when they were healthier, maybe when they were younger, or maybe when they were happier. Okay, so always the way that you will remember them. Okay. So we need to remember that, you know, this physical body and this physical appearance, it's an earthly one. We lose this appearance as soon as we return to spirit. Okay, so think of it like as all of us being actors in a play, okay, and that play is life. At the end of every play, actors take off their costumes and they return to the person that they are normally. Okay, their normal character, not the, you know, the one that they've taken on for the duration of the play. So it's the exact same with us. At the end of this life, we will shed the costume of our earthly body and return to our spiritual form, which is an energy. So even when a medium does see a vision of how someone looked when they were alive, you know, which does, and it can and does happen, this is simply a vision manifested by the spirit so that they are easily recognizable. What they do get right on television is that visions are generally fleeting. They just last a few seconds before they disappear again. That's because the energy runs out and the spirit gets tired of projecting this image to us, okay? They can only do it for so long. And this is why when we get a vision of spirit as they looked in life, you know, this physical manifestation, it's always fleeting. So therefore it tends to happen more when you're doing live events, you know, where I'm on stage and where I only have 2 or 3 minutes to get across to the audience who or what I'm seeing. Okay? In a full one-to-one mediumship reading, we get to keep the energy with us for longer because we have a longer period of time. So a spirit won't exhaust their energy in the first couple of minutes by showing us a vision of them, because they want to stay a while. Okay, they want to hang around and chat to us about what's been going on for you and what's been going on for them. So they save their energy for the communication instead of using it on the visions, because for them to manifest a vision of how they looked, that would take up so much of their energy that they wouldn't be able to stay for the duration of the reading. So I hope that makes sense, and I hope that answers that question. If you have any questions that you want me to answer, you can email them to me, Sandy at S for Sandy, B for Burn, M for Medium. So Sandy at sbm.ie. So for now, I'll say goodbye, and I will see you in the next episode of Life After Life. Until then, take care and stay safe.
Discussing everything about the afterlife.